What did you think about your sit down with DeHaven? That
Oh man,
kind of had a
it's
lot of people talking.
I like DeHaven, man. I think, matter of fact, I talked to DeHaven yesterday, man. So after that day, we've been in contact like a lot. I mean, so I haven't, you see me, I was in New York with him a couple weeks ago. I mean, so I like DeHaven a lot, man. I mean, DeHaven got it. DeHaven more hurt about this joint than anything. You could tell. He just hurt. I
What?
mean, his man did him
So
dirty.
what
He hurt.
would you say that when you say hurt? Are you hurt, or do you have a different type of
They got to stay out.
yeah?
They go back. They go back. I'm not hurt. Just was disappointed. I wasn't hurt. Man, I think he got to stay. He got a lifetime of thing of connection. Somebody living in the same house. They like don't messing with the same girls, selling drugs together. It's a different type of. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not hurt. But he hurt. You could tell that was his brother. You know what I mean? Little brother. His little brother make it. You can't even enjoy the success with him. You probably feel like And then see people on the outside looking at it like, well, you just mad because this, that, and third. No, he hurt. I mean, if I had a homie that was riding with me, I just would sit down and talk to him. But some people just think that money make people feel like they're above that. They don't have to do that, and they don't. And they don't. I mean, but I just know he gets hurt. I mean, even his mom. I mean, she hurt. So I
How
don't
was it to huh?
what? I was it
I
what?
was gonna say how was it to navigate what happened? Because he talked about Jay, but he also kind of had the kindest words to say about somebody who you really care
Dame.
for, Dame.
Yeah, but you still. I mean, but that's how you feel about Dame. I can't tell him how to feel about him. You know what I'm saying the Dame he talking about is that when I ain't even know Dame then. You know what I'm saying, but I told him I said Dame my man though. You know that Dame my man. You know what I mean, so I ain't like I'm sitting here like, yeah, Dame do what I mean, because you're entitled to feel how you feel about somebody. You know what I mean, but I don't gotta agree with you. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean,
If there's like advice, what advice would you give to DeHaven about? I'm not saying that he needs advice, but like, what would be something that y'all would be a good way to take this, like a good direction?
I don't know. I just think forgiveness. I mean, because sometimes forgiveness ain't for the other person; it's for you. So you can just get it off you. I mean, because I had a hard time forgiving. I mean, but when I start forgiving, I start feeling like it's lifting off me. Like, oh, do something for yourself too, even probably more for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I think you just gotta probably just forgive him. You know what I mean, and it sounds
Who
hard to
did
do. It
you
sounds crazy, but I mean, like, I think that's the forgive him and then keep because I mean, cause my stuff more business wise. I just can't look up to you because of the kid thing, but his joint is a life drawing. Especially my friends, my brother type drawing. You know what I mean, so it's way deeper. I mean,
who did you have a tough time forgiving? Was that more life stuff or was it music business stuff?
more life stuff. Like life stuff, deep life stuff. You know what I'm saying? God forgive. It's hard to forgive, man. You know what I mean? Because especially when you've been to prison. In prison, the one thing you can't do is let nothing slide. Somebody do something to you, you got to get back, or you gonna be. You mean they're gonna try you more and more. So we raising that mentality is the wrong mentality to have when you on the street. Sometimes, so it's hard to cut it off and just like So, but one thing about me, I tell the truth to myself about what I need to change about me. You know what I mean?
That is like a profound point you make. Like in the streets, forgiveness is not really something you do
No,
often.
no.
No, you can't forgive, or that's weakness.
Yeah, you gotta do something. You gotta do something to somebody, even if you don't want to. I've been in that position. I had to do something to somebody I didn't even want to, but you got to because everybody watching. You know what I'm saying? So, but you don't know how to cut it off though. That's the thing. I mean, you might be with your girl or somebody. Hey, she just said something to you. And you feel like I gotta get back. You know what I mean? Not knowing, bro, you gotta cut that off. You know what I mean? And it's hard to do. And so say you go to prison, right? And you young, and you gotta act tough, even though you're not tough. You gotta act tough, right? You start acting tough for so long that you end up becoming tough. Because it's not an act no more. After a while, you keep faking it and doing that. You gotta, you know what I mean? You're going through the motions of it for years and years. You end up, you ain't faking it no more. You know what I'm saying? But now you don't know how to cut it off. So that's the thing, especially people that have been in prison for some years, they gotta learn how to cut that mentality off. And it's hard to do, even for me still. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't know. I feel like anytime I interview y'all two, everybody in the comments like, man, you really gonna interview DeHaven and Oschino. I'm like, I don't know what's the issue. Like it's
because
always like
listen,
you
listen,
could
listen, listen. This how you get the views. Either they love you or hate you. There's no in between. If we were sitting here talking about how good the church is, and they ain't trying to hear none of that. You know that yourself, right? But it was funny because when me and DeHaven was talking about Hov, it's like I almost was like taking up for him is in a funny way, right? Like, for whole, when I look back when I was watching it, like I'm trying to take, you mean, I was giving advice, like Dr. Phil in it, on that joint. You mean,
Yeah, I was it was
they,
it
they, thought- they
was
thought it was gonna be a hate
hilarious.
fest. They thought it was gonna be a Jay-Z hate fest. No, no, it ain't with that. But that's the thing, bro. I don't hate him. You know what I'm saying? I just see him for who he is. That's all. I hate him. I mean, I just can't look up to him. That's it. I mean, you this and that and the third. They say like he's so big and famous, you can't say nothing about him. He can say something about you or whatever. But like, I love the comments because I know the people probably in the basement at their grandma's house with no life, just mad at the world. So this, let me take it out on y'all. I mean, so I don't
Not
really.
only that, but I don't know. I think this Jay-Z Rockefeller is one of the biggest labels ever. Like if like I would like to hear hours and hours and hours of people who were on Motown, even if they saying the same story over and over. I want to hear the same thing. I want to hear the story changes. I want to hear the perspective change. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I just think it's natural for people to just hate on everything while secretly enjoying it.
they
That's
of
some
course.
new internet.
Listen, I had the same people on my internet hate every video. Watch all of them. Comment, hate every video, and I used to block them. I said, why am I blocking him? It's views. Like, let him watch. I mean, shout out to Jay Black. It's this boy named Jay Black. He hate everything. He hate everything I do, but he watch everything I do. I don't even know who he is and nothing like yo. So they say they hate it, but if you really hate something, you're not gonna keep watching it.
Jay Black got a YouTube channel. Is
No,
that
I just named Jay Black on there. He just be. I mean, but so I erase his comments, but I don't block him. He diabolical with it. I'm sorry. I can say I love Jesus Christ. I can say you don't love it. You just gonna make something bad about that. I can say anything. He gonna just So I used to be as a human sometimes it might make you mad sometimes. You see a comment right on a certain day. I mean, so I don't read them comments like that. I
But
don't
they be
read.
going diabolical. They be like, "Yo, it's clear that Oschino and DeHaven don't have a mom or a dad, and this is why." Like they be saying like the
But I
most
don't. So
random
they
shit.
might be right. But those crazy. Those crazy though. Those crazy though. Sometimes a person can say something that's diabolical, but it could be true. You mean? But see, I'm so much of a realist. If I read it, somebody can say something like that, I'm like, damn, is it that obvious? Because I don't, but I mean, what make it so obvious? I mean, so sometimes you might, because then when you read a comment, right? Somebody could say that, like say you said the same comment, you could tell Oschino and don't have a mom or dad, right? They could have said it in a nice way or a bad way, but in your mind, when you read it, you gonna read it however you think they said it. You mean? So, you know, I don't really take it personal because at the end of the day, whoever's saying it, they might not be perfect either. I'm sure they're not. You know what I'm saying? So I think the conversation me and Dave had was a good conversation. I mean,
You don't think because you come from like that street background that it's tough to take comments? Because in the
it
like in
used
the,
to be, but you gotta stay. I get a lot of you gotta stay. I've been doing this for a little minute now. I done seen every kind of bad comment it is, bro. Like, I mean, so like I'm getting very, very good. I just don't read them though. But if I'm in the mood to read them, I read them and I write them down. The bad ones.
why do you write them down? What do you do with that?
To see if any of it's true. You never argue with you never had a well, it used to be a girl. Never had a girl say something about you, right? Y'all arguing. And then later on you think about what she said and just think if any of it is true. You never do that? I guess I do that. Like, I don't know. Instead of me just saying she just saying some crazy shit, I might, even if I don't tell her, I'll go back and say like, is that? Think about it. I mean, because we never. Sometimes we don't see wrong in what we do. Sometimes somebody got to tell you. I mean, and you think about it, like 'cause but usually when I think about it being in prison, it's too late. You're in prison, you're sitting there all the time, and you think about certain things people said to you that end up being true once you think about it. So sometimes people might say something to you, might take it as hating, and it might even be hating, but you still can take it and maybe better yourself if it's true to you.